Have you ever heard of Tom and Kia Massey? You know, the father and daughter prospecting team. Yeah, the ones who find all kinds of gold. That's them. Well, today, they're in the American Southeast to go relic hunting. Or in Tom's words,
woo, treasure!
Treasure!
Treasure for everyone!
Yeah, that's the spirit. But this treasure lies deep underwater.
This is shark. This is big shark.
So after getting dive certified, they're joining Mel Fisher's treasure operation to dive on a Spanish shipwreck just off the coast of Key West, Florida.
So far, we've brought up $500 million worth of treasure.
Heads opening up to a new world, new ways to get gold. It's exciting.
I packed in my job and I made up my mind to spend my life looking for gold. That old gold bug really bit me good, and I'm doomed, so I've been told.
That's not good.
I got metal detectors up the old yin-yang, a gold dredge and a four-wheel drive. I'd be better if you shot me, 'cause gold fever's really got me, and I'm hooked as long as I'm alive.
I need some gold.
Go, 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 fever, ba, 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 go, 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 fever.
The South is known for its relics. There was the American Civil War, countless seaports, and of course the Pirates of the Caribbean, all conducting, well, business for hundreds of years here. Of course, much of the artifacts that still remain do so underwater. And this brings us to Birmingham, Alabama, to the oldest dive shop in the South.
Ready for another day of dive training, Kia?
I'm ready for diving.
All right.
They got a cool new sign.
Yeah, it is a cool new sign. That's a big shark bite out of it, though. Looks kind of Gulf Coast-ish, you know? Whew, good morning. A little warmer in here.
Hey,
Yeah.
sir. Good
Ready
to see
for
you.
another day of
Hey, Tom. Yes, sir.
dive training.
Hey, Kia, how you doing?
Good to be here.
We're going to plan for our checkout dive trips that we're doing this weekend. We're going to be using some thicker suits than we've been using in the pool.
We've also got a bunch of brand new gear for you guys to try today, too. All kinds of new toys.
That sounds fun. But I don't like reading the instructions. I like just pushing the buttons and figuring it out that way.
Okay, well, let's do it. Let's go ahead and get our stuff on and get in the water.
All right.
Tom and Kia have been on a crash course here for the past 2 days, and by now they've got the hang of things.
The last 2 days have been very intensive because this is something that they've been packing into us. Spencer's just been really running us through the mill with some drills.
After 60 years, the Southern Skin Divers maintain a perfect safety record, and that's something to be proud of. So Tom's dredging experience is no reason to cut corners.
I've been dredging all my life, and I've spent many hours down under the water, but it's been spent with a hookah. And I've gone down 40, 50 feet in deep holes in rivers, but I never got certified.
We like to focus on safety around here, so I want you guys to do another rescue. So Dad's going to be an unconscious diver laying down on the bottom. So when you find the unconscious...
With all the trouble my dad drags me into, one of these days I'm gonna have to help him out.
This is their last exercise in the pool. Can Kia save her dad if she had to?
Breath out of me.
Good job, Kia.
I don't even know how to contain my enthusiasm right now. Thinking about, swimming with fishes and feeling like a mermaid is gonna be awesome.
Mermaid, huh? Let's take this one step at a time. There's still a test to pass.
Well, I'm pretty good at multiple choice tests. I think I'm gonna pass the test. I'm pretty good, and I know how to B and C are more the answers than A and D. So if you just do B, C, B, C, B, C, and then if it's not timed, I can do pretty good because I'm a slow reader.
Let's get me out of this pool. Let's go to Key West. Let's go diving everywhere.
Now, Tom and Kia didn't come all the way to Alabama just for dive lessons. They're after some relics. Not only is Southern Skin Divers the perfect place to start, but Tom has a long history with them.
Well, I first ran into Forrest and Spencer and Steve up in Alaska on the GPA's Alaska expedition. And that was back in the early 90s.
I was already a diver before I went to Nome with the GPAA. But in 1993, my 15-year-old son Spencer and I went up there. Didn't find much gold, but we learned an awful lot the first year.
They took all this diving knowledge and they put it into the gold mining aspect of it, and it just was like bread to butter. It just worked. And then we put them on our big common operation on the 8-inch dredge, and they took to that.
We would find a lot of gold. We were the best dredge crew they ever had, and that's the truth. I don't care who likes it or that's the truth. But eventually I started dredging in the ocean and went through a super long and expensive learning curve.
Hey, Steve.
Hey, Tom.
We meet again.
Yeah. I hope they're taking good care of you here.
Yeah, they have been taking really good care of us.
Well,
Is that some of your gold that you got?
Yeah, this was my gold this summer, and I brought it in. I mean, this is a gold show, and you got to have gold on a gold show. So this was what I brought back from Nome this summer.
And there's some bigger chunks in there.
Yeah, it's 5.5 troy pounds.
Look at that one there. That's pretty good for a summer's worth of work there.
Well, I pay the bills. I spend a lot. So now I help some of our hardcore divers actually learn how to by themselves make a living.
Yeah.
I like it. I like to help certain people, the ones that are not drinkers and are not chest beaters and not loudmouths like on TV. Not your show. But, you know, I like my guys, and they get gold fever like me, and it's pretty good. Now, I've been going 22 years in a row. I got gold fever bad a long time ago, and I never got over it.
Steve and his crew are among the most successful ocean dredgers on the Bering Sea. On top of that, as fans of the show might remember, he's even more experienced at something else.
A couple of years ago, I found some trash, I thought, because rivers used to be garbage dumps where people threw in their garbage. I found this piece of iron, and it turned out to be the rarest relic that me or any relic hunter that I've ever heard of found.
And that's a pretty big deal, because
That's a big deal. I've been relic hunting pushing 50 years. And I started trying to figure out what it was, and then I'd heard of them before, but it's a bomb, and it's designed to look like a piece of coal, and it would be rolled in tar and coal dust. And when it was shoveled into the firebox from the coal bin where the spy threw it,
like on a train or on a ship.
It would blow up the firebox, which blew up the boiler, which ended up blowing stuff all over the deck, setting it all on fire, and sinking the ship. And they sank several ships with this. That's the only one been found since the war.
Can you imagine the last person that had it, that tossed it, what they were thinking?
Probably thinking, I don't want to get caught with this thing because they'll hang me.
Anybody that had that in their possession that was captured would be hung immediately. And that's just lucky. It's the best relic I've ever found.
You think about some spy that had this that was up north, and then the war ended.
He knew that was death if he's captured with it, so he threw it in the river, and I happened to find it. It's been wonderful, you know, to be a relic hunter, to be able to be out in the woods or out in the water, and to live your life that way. It's just great.
Tom and Kia are getting excited about diving into that warm, treasure-laden Caribbean water too. But that's for later in the show. Here and now, they have a test to pass.
In the event your regular comes out of your mouth, you should remember to hold your breath. Stick your tongue out. Right. Yeah, something like this, it's not something you want to cheat on, because you either know it or you don't know it, and you want to know that you know it, because it's you that's out there that's going to drown, not anybody else. So you either know it or you don't know it. And if you don't know it, you want to know that you don't know it.
Congratulations, y'all passed. All we have left is the fun part now, the water work. Way to go.
Got a B. B plus.
B's all around.
B plus.
That's right.
I'll take it.
Go, 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 viva, ba, 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 ba.
Well, we've got Tom and Kia down here in St. Andrews, Florida, next to Panama City, and they've finished all their training this week. They've passed their written test with flying colors.
I don't know if I want to go 100 feet down.
We want them to experience diving from a boat, get some depth in salt water, get to dive in a little bit of current, and see some real fish.
As far as the dives today, we're going to hit the Black Bart, which is a 180-foot shipwreck that sits at about 80 feet of water. And then we're going to go do the Red Sea, which is a 130-foot shipwreck sitting in about 80 feet of water as well.
After a quick safety briefing, it's time to get out there.
All right, guys, well, let's do it.
Well, I'll be extremely honest. I was kind of feeling like a sissy la-la. When I woke up this morning, I'm so scared. I was kind of a little so scared. I was like, no, Dad, I don't think I'm ready to try this at all.
Once you start diving, it's addictive. It changes your vacation plans for sure.
I feel like a mermaid. Oh, no!
Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord.
Yeah, I'm so excited. No, I'm excited.
Okay,
I was so scared before, but now that we're doing it, I feel better. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited I could cry. I really am.
It's hard to call this being at work for me. My wife doesn't consider it being at work for sure.
Ah, what a beautiful day! Sun shining, birds chirping, heading out for adventure. What's the deepest you ever been, Kia?
14 feet.
Well, we're gonna go deeper than that today. This is absolutely gorgeous. Florida, sunshiny, winter day. Can't beat it.
Before long, they arrive at the first dive site.
This is the Black Bart. Sits in about 80 feet of water, and it's about 180 feet long.
Kia's anticipation mounts as everyone gears up for their dive. She's first into the water. Her dad's next. As they begin descending, almost immediately, Kia has a problem with her mask. The camera that's been mounted to her head is causing a leak, and she decides to try removing it. Tom and Forrest notice she's struggling. Fortunately, her training kicks in right away. Without skipping a beat, she reassembles her equipment and signals that she's good to go. Before long, this vast underwater world causes time to slip away.
As we got down to the bottom that first time, and I got deeper than I've ever been before, and I looked across and I saw Kia, and I gave her the old okay sign underwater, and she looked back at me and she gave me the okay sign, and I could just see the wonderment in her eyes, and it was just a connection to be there under the water with her together, and it's something that I know I'll never forget, she'll never forget.
Just then, Kia spots something else they'll never forget.
I saw the toilet on my own at first, and I was like instantly, I want to go over and play with it, you know, and like.
There's a toilet down there. You can't take a dump at the bottom of the ocean. Well, yeah, you can take a dump at the bottom of the ocean. But it's nice to know there's a toilet down there.
when you see something that's out of place, it's just kind of comical. It's just funny. You just want to ride it at the bottom of the ocean. It's like, yeah, you can't ride a bike on the bottom of the ocean. Oh, yes, you can ride a bike on the bottom of the ocean.
Go, 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 viva, ba, 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 ba.
Welcome back. Good dive?
Wow. Oh, wow. Talk about a whole new world. Oh my gosh. Top #1 coolest thing I've done so far. I saw the toilet and I'm like, yeah, sitting on the toilet at the bottom of the ocean. And then I was looking around and then I saw the bike and I went over to the bike and I'm like, yeah, riding the bike at the bottom of the ocean. Then I went and brought it over to my dad and I'm like, yeah, riding a bike with my dad at the bottom of the ocean.
You see me bounce it?
Yeah.
I like a BMX trick rider, man.
With all of the crew on board, it's on to the next dive site nearby. After one more dive, Tom and Kia will have the confidence and training required to search for gold and relics where they never had before.
You ready? Gold fever!
Tom and Kia, yeah, they've got this. By now, they know the drill.
Being under there, I really enjoyed swimming through the doorways, through the middle of the shipwreck, and feeling like I'm part of the fish, like a real mermaid would feel, you know? Like I felt part of their element in their environment, and it's a really special thing.
You know, that's nice, but there's just something in me. Call it gold fever, call it whatever, that's just got this want to find some treasure.
Ready to expand gold fever and find some relics and coins or whatever there is down there.
Heads opening up to a new world. New places, new things, new ideas, new ways to get gold. It's exciting.
A whole new world indeed. Dive certification is no magic flying carpet. But make no mistake, prospecting is about going where no one has gone before, to uncover that which has eluded so many others. The more barriers that stand in the way of gold or treasure, the less likely anyone else will break through them. And deep water is a big barrier. As Tom and Kia head back to shore, basking in that Caribbean sun and the new possibilities ahead of them, one more barrier has just been conquered. Ready or not, gold and treasure, here they come.
Go, 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 viva, ba, 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 ba.
Guys, welcome to St. Andrews Marina here in Panama City, Florida. We're standing in the original Harbor Master's house here, and Bill Tant, our founder of Southern Skin Divers Supply in Birmingham, bought this house in the 1960s. And what he used it for is when he would teach people up in Birmingham to scuba dive, they would come and they would sleep here at the marina in this old house. Back then, you know, there were no dive boats, there were no dive stores or dive operators other than ours. We've been doing it now over 60 years, and you're part of the oldest scuba diving school in the United States now. Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Spencer's got your open water certifications, and I have your enriched air nitrox certifications too.
Awesome.
You're part of the club now.
That's right.
Now we're officially in. Well, this is really cool doing this here. and you can just feel the history inside this room and in this building, and just looking around and seeing all the cool artifacts and antiques and stuff that's in here.
Of course, we dive all over the world, but this place is always very special to us.
This is where it all started.
Yeah, this is where it started, right here.
Captain Scuba.
Captain Scuba.
You can feel him in here.
Mr. Tant, 8 hours ago I couldn't even spell skin Dover, and now I are one. Right.
Just looking around in here, you know, there's old treasure maps in here pointing the way to probably unknown wrecks. And, you know, you look at this one, they're in just pristine shape, you know, right here, 1959, 35 cents. Cheap. Wow. And then, look at this. Kia, look at this.
Yeah.
Here you go. The treasure diver's guide right there. There's the manual right there. Find some treasure. Better read that.
Don't tell him what's going to be in there.
Oh, man.
$100 bills.
Get a good look at that, Kia. That's what you're looking for.
That's what you're looking for. And it probably won't look like that. It's probably going to be black when you find it because it's got oxidation on it. So get a good look at that.
It'd be hard to see underwater like that.
Spencer, this says cremated remains right there.
Yep, there's no telling who that is. It's somebody.
Oh my.
I don't even know if I want to touch this. I want to drop that. Ask around about that. That's somebody.
Somebody sitting there.
One of his divers. Let's go out here on the porch. I'll get to unlock. These are some of the special divers that used to dive with Bill, and all these folks that passed away.
It's got their names on it and everything?
It does.
Wow.
So after they passed away, their family willed it to Bill, and he just has this wall of these regulators to honor those guys.
It's an honor to be here and see this stuff. It's really cool. You just feel the history.
Bill Tant was an amazing pioneer. This house is a reflection of his legacy and that of Southern Skin Divers, which continues on today.
It's quite an anchor right here.
Bill Tant recovered it in 1962, and we had it on display at the Scuba School in Birmingham for many years, and then Bill brought it back down here and put it on display for everyone to see here at St. Andrews Marina.
You know, you guys were talking about when he found this back in those days, there was no sonar, there was nothing to look on the bottom with. He just had to prospect. He had to figure it out, had to lead one thing to another. And he said that he was working with the fishermen and knowing where they were getting fish and figuring there was something down there. And then he dove down there and found this wreck way back then.
Yeah, way back.
That's pretty cool. We learn from the master, and we become apprentice, and we're part of the club now.
We're part of the club now, absolutely.
Skin divers.
No longer Patiwan.
Welcome to Key West. This small island is the fingertip of Florida, reaching in for that treasure from the Caribbean Sea. Tom and Kia are reaching too, and to help them find it, they're teaming up with someone who already has.
Ready! Aim! Fire!
Fire in the hole!
Good morning, Tom.
Hey, morning, Kim.
Welcome. Hi, Kia.
Hey.
Today's the day.
Today's the day. Man,
Yeah.
that's a beautiful necklace you got there.
Well, thank you. Thank
Looks
you.
like treasure.
It is. I had to look through a bunch of coins to find that one.
To get an idea of why the seafloor here is home to untold amounts of wealth, we're going to go back in time and paint the picture for you. The year is 1622. Spain is at the height of its empire, the vanguards of European exploration and colonial expansion. Less than 100 years after sending Columbus on his first journey to the New World, the Americas have become Spain's backbone of wealth. importing countless amounts of copper, silver and gold, tobacco, gems, jewelry, you name it, Spain ships it home. The distance is vast, and without satellites or radar, unpredictable Caribbean weather can catch even the most formidable seafarers off guard.
The Spaniards were following this trade route for 300 years, and they lost a lot of ships.
In the summer of 1622, the Spanish spent 2 full months loading an admiral's galleon named Our Lady of Atocha with immense amounts of treasure. Before embarking home, she set sail to meet up with the rest of her fleet in Cuba.
Well, one day after they left Havana, they got hit by a hurricane.
The Admiral's galleon and 8 other ships are slammed against shallow reefs near the coast of Key West. Before long, she sinks, right along with all of her precious cargo.
The treasure sat there until we found it for 400 years, just right there on the bottom. This is one of the bronze guns.
So this was on the Atocha?
Yes.
This was down there under the water?
Yes. All this stuff, this is all from the Atocha.
All these are all glimpses into the past.
Yeah.
Just a lot of amazing artifacts. And pottery.
Pottery, yeah. These intact pieces are very rare. Most of them got smashed in the hurricane. It's all neat. It all tells a story. Every little thing we find.
This just wasn't a regular ship. This was the lead ship of a fleet that was carrying the bulk of their treasure.
Everything you could imagine that would be on the Spanish galleon, gold bars and silver bars and pieces of 8 and doubloons and stuff you never would have even thought of. Gold! Something about gold that you like there, huh?
Yeah. I like the look of it. I like the feel of it. I like the smell of it. I like the taste of it. I like gold. You got a really good Mr. T starter kit right here.
Yeah.
This is an interesting piece.
I think that's the best piece we found.
Best piece?
That's the poison cup. So, you see these little stones here? Those are gallstones from a goat or a llama. They would put those in that little mount in the bottom of the cup. And if anything with poison was poured in the cup, these bezoar stones would change colors.
Is this the one you found?
Yes.
This is the one that you actually were the first person to lay eyes on it since it was lost and pulled it up out of the mud.
I'm getting goosebumps now just thinking about it. It was actually after sunset. I was the only guy in the hole. I just watched it uncovered. I just stared at it for a couple minutes before I even touched it, you know. Then I went and picked it up. Within 5 minutes, everybody was back in the water. Gold fever.
Yeah, gold fever.
Yeah.
How on earth did they find what no one else could? Well, Kim's father, Mel Fisher, was a diving pioneer of his own. This led him to treasure hunting, which he did for many years until the late 1960s, when he decided it was time to go bigger.
He had read about the Atocha in a book called Potter's Treasure Diver's Guide. And it had 4 stars next to the name, which meant it had a big cargo on it. So he decided to go look for it.
After 4 full years of looking, the first clue was finally located in 1971, the Atocha's anchor.
Yeah, and then we started following this trail. And right about here in 1973 and 74, we found some silver bars and coins, a bunch of gold.
But this really wasn't the main pile.
No, but we found so much stuff there, we figured the rest of it has to be close by. We started looking around that area, digging holes, and we just didn't find it, you know?
Reality had set in. This ship was pulverized, and its treasure scattered all over the seafloor. There's no telling how long the rest of it would take to find, if ever at all. And in that moment, in July 1975, the unthinkable happened.
The salvage boat my brother Dirk ran, the Northwind, capsized in the middle of the night, and he and his wife and another diver were trapped inside.
Mel's son Dirk and his wife Angel didn't survive. It's a powerful ocean. It takes people and ships.
It was the only time I really saw my dad discouraged.
Lesser men would have given up. It takes incredible determination to accomplish great things. For the next 10 years, they followed a slim trail of breadcrumbs across 7 linear miles of wide open seas.
So you're just following this little trail, not knowing if it could just peter out or keep going for 20 miles or what, and you're just following the trail, and then all of a sudden,
one day there it was.
Boom.
Yeah.
It was 10 years to the day after Dirk's accident on July 20th, 1985, that the crew radioed to shore.
Throw away the charts! We've got it! We've got it!
You know, it was an 80-foot long pile of silver just sticking up out of the mud. It was incredible.
Atocha's main pile ended up being 6 miles from the first piece they found. It's no wonder it took a lifetime to locate.
My dad was, he accomplished his dream. You know, he had a lot of negative stuff come at him. The government tried to take it away. I lost a brother. He never let that slow him down. He just pushed all that negative stuff aside and kept going. And he always said, today's the day we're gonna find it. And he was right, we did.
Go, 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 viva, va, 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 va.
Come on in and sit down.
That's a bit of treasure.
Yeah. These money chains, they had all different sizes. You know, they used them for money, and they also didn't have to pay taxes when they had jewelry. I found this one myself. When I found it, there was about that much of it sticking out of the sand. And I started pulling on it, and my smile kept getting bigger and bigger. Pretty soon my mask was filling up with water.
And it looked like this when you pulled it out of the sand.
Just like that. Just shiny as could be.
And this looks like treasure.
Yeah.
This looks like when you're riding through the Pirates of the Caribbean and you look over there and you see the treasure chest. This would be sitting right there in the treasure chest.
Now, where we're going tomorrow is just right near this spot, just to the east of where we found this beautiful gold chalice. There's a big chunk of virgin sea bottom that we haven't worked before. So we're hoping to find a bunch more of these when we go out tomorrow.
Treasure for everyone! Yeah. That's really cool, Kim.
Yeah.
What do you say we go find some of this stuff?
Let's go out there and find more of these.
This is it. This is the moment Tom and Kia have been training for. Their first opportunity to dive deep for some real treasure. Fortunately, they're in good hands. Before long, the Mel Fisher salvage vessel is within sight. She's anchored on the Margarita Shipwreck, which sank here within sight of the Atocha about 35 miles off the coast of Key West. Upon boarding, one thing becomes immediately clear. These guys don't mess around. After all, there's treasure to be found.
Hey, Tom, you go find some gold and then I'll go in, right?
All right. You can help me haul it up.
There you go.
Be so much you can't haul it in one haul. Yeah. We need everybody's help to haul it up.
Sounds good.
You hit the water, you're just gonna go straight down. Put your nose into the current, head down, fin down. It'll push you right to the bottom. Stand by, stand by, stand by. Clear, go.
Any treasure lying down here is buried under a layer of sand and beneath that is a long dead coral reef, which is basically hard as bedrock. To get beneath the sand, Mel invented what they call a mailbox. It's a large metal tube that deflects propeller wash downward and pushes sand away.
So we'll expose probably a 35-foot diameter patch of bedrock. And then oftentimes, as in the case right now, there's a solution hole in that bedrock.
Just like gold in a creek, heavy artifacts have become trapped in these solution holes at the bottom of the ocean.
We've got to vacuum the sand out of that hole, so they're using an airlift. And you can see the air coming up from the airlift. Creates a suction at the bottom so they can clean that hole out and get to the stuff that's in the bottom of the hole.
Tom's weapon of choice, a metal detector, is particularly useful down here as well. And after diving for about 20 minutes, Kia, armed with only her eagle eyes, spots something that seems out of place.
Tia found a horse's tooth. And she found it all by herself. Picked it up and looked at it. This looks like something, you know. Showed it to her dad, and then put it down, and I said, "Ah, it's a tooth." She's like, "Ah, tooth." That was great.
She looks excited. What else did you find?
I'll show you. It's part of a pot. It's pretty. It's almost like finding sea glass, but different. Treasure!
She's gonna be hooked now. I got a feeling she already is hooked.
Go, 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 viva.
Tom and Kia just finished their first dive on the Margarita Shipwreck with Mel Fisher's salvage operation. And they found stuff, man.
Look at
That's.
This is the one I found.
They're probably from the same piece.
Right
They're the same piece. But when I found that, I started to feel that rush of like, ooh, treasure! Oh, ooh, here it is! It's treasure! You're finding stuff.
And here's my tooth.
Yeah, that's awesome. That is awesome. It's a piece of history right there. It ties it back to somebody a long time ago. That's man-made right there. Lost and then refound. You know, Kim, this is like, it's like a trophy. It's a piece of history right there. And I don't know where you put a price on it. You know, I mean, it's a broken piece of pottery, but it's tied to a history. It's tied to right here, and it's tied to today because it came out today. It re-saw the light of day again, and to me, that's just priceless. That's a piece. That's a trophy right there.
Yeah, it is.
While Tom revels in their finds,
I got treasure fever.
Yeah.
the crew has already begun moving this vessel to its next location.
Start engine. So ball, tank in.
Are you guys gonna mailbox again? Are you gonna?
Yep.
Yeah.
Till it gets dark out.
Till it gets dark out. Just keep going and going.
The next hole's gonna have gold.
These seasoned divers know that a motherlode of treasure could be sitting in the next hole over.
Okay, that's good. Tie the line.
They know this because they've seen it, so they're not about to waste a second of daylight out here.
Clear. Next.
Yeah, I went down there and first thing I looked for was like, oop, piece of a pot, oop, piece of a pot, oop, piece of a pot, and I grabbed it all and I showed everyone. I'm like, yeah!
Awesome. Nice stuff.
Shipwreck treasure.
Today's the day.
I found this time. I went down. My treasure!
Mel Fisher's Treasures doesn't do this alone. They offer an opportunity for anyone to participate in an ongoing shipwreck recovery with a stake in the finds. And out here, you never know what's going to come out of the water.
Piece of a sword blade?
Sword blade.
Piece of a sword blade. Don, your little girl found a piece of a sword blade.
Yeah, she's good. You know, she's always, since she's been just like a little girl, she's always been able to get her eyes right and find the right stuff. She's always had a knack for finding stuff. Shipwreck treasure.
A sword.
A sword. Maybe that was the captain of the whole fleet, and he was standing there in the hurricane like, ah, with his sword, ah! And then when he went in the water, he was over here when he went in somewhere.
It's a toss-up, you know, if that's the best find or this. This one.
I found them both.
And you got them both, yeah. The horse's tooth or a piece of a sword blade.
Kia just, you know, she's got the fever.
Yeah.
She's talking about being the first one down there to fuck them all.
Yeah.
I wanted to go before my dad and everyone else, because when we found, you know, the first pieces of pottery, I'm like, oh my gosh, there's stuff I could find. So I went down there and I was eyeballing all the way down over there. Yoink, 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 yoink.
You never know what's going to be down there. Once you've found something, you know, then you're hooked. You just want to see what else there is. And we find modern junk too. This is some piece of modern intrusion.
Well, I saw this piece, and when it came out, it was kind of like that.
That looks like treasure.
Yeah, and it did. I was like, oh!
Yeah.
And then when I flipped it over, like, oh.
Oh, darn, yeah. It's got its ups and downs, that's for sure. You know, you dig a lot of empty holes, but yeah, it's one more place where you know it's not.
Yeah. Today was the day.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, isn't this cool or what?
It is.
We told many stories today. Captain Scuba, Dive Master, Steve Phillips, Relic Hunter, the Fisher family, Treasure Seekers, and of course Tom and Kia, Gold Prospectors, taking their first foray into a new world of underwater possibilities. These men and Kia, they never stop looking. Every day they put in the work. They make the sacrifices. No one said it was going to be easy. They slowly but scientifically follow that trail until it leads to a new one. This is what it takes to find treasure, ladies and gentlemen. Never stop looking.
Don't give up.
Alabama alone has 77,000 miles of waterways. I doubt that divers have dived anywhere close to 1% of that. I wish I would live long enough that I could explore it all, but I'm not.
We dug hundreds of thousands of empty holes. But don't let that, you know, discourage you, because eventually you're going to find that good hole. Just keep digging.
Somewhere, it could be anywhere, are fortunes still waiting to be found. So get out there. Tomorrow can wait. Today's the day.